Yeah, you're going to want to stick around for this one. You will not believe how much of a nightmare this becomes. So you got the motor here on the bench, and I really want to see what's going on behind this buffoonery here. Look, wow, it stinks really bad. What is going on here? Oh, what? What is it? Yep. All right, we're back with this thing, and I've got all the parts in. I'm going to go ahead and take this clutch off, and probably the counterbalance too. And I'm debating, do I go nuclear and grind it with this kind of freaky old grinder that looks like it's going to explode in my face? Or alternatively, we can go more surgical with the Dremel. All right, the weld's gone, gears are off. Look at that clean cut. Could run that sucker right now. You probably watched that video and thought, wow, what a moron. He's going to get millions of metal shavings and particulates all in the motor. And you would be absolutely right. I mean, this is heinous. Every little dot. Let's see, let me get the magnet here. Clean that up for you. Oh yeah, that's pretty bad. She's gonna need a nice, long, warm bath with a glass of wine to get clean from that one. So next step, we'll get all these gears removed. We'll take out the oil pump as well, wash that out. And we'll flip it over and do the stator side next. All right, let's see how fast we can do this. All this is coated in metal shavings. This is horrible. Horrible. I've never done anything this careless before, but hey, $300 bike, right? We'll get it washed up, so she'll be solid. All right, get the safety tabs off of this counterbalancer gear. For now, I'll pause on that, and I'll get the oil pump drive gear and the oil pump removed. Oil pump gear looks good. So it looks like the crank didn't fail. Well, we know that the crank didn't fail from the oil pump. We know it's the gas that was in the oil, but it's always good to check your oil pump gear when your cranks fail, because this could be the culprit. All right, so I have no real way of holding this, so I can't even get the new gear on that spline. So let's see if I can just hold this. Oh. All right, now we're gonna bring it around town. Bring it around town. I'll get this flywheel off. This is a ID thread, so I need my OD pullers. Yep. All right. Knock this off with a 17. And my battery's dead. Don't make fun of my Walmart heart impact, okay? I had a Cobalt for a long time, 7 years. Finally died, and I saw this special for the heart at Walmart. And my puller was stuck, so I gotta put it in the vise. There we go. All right, so yeah, anyway, I've had that heart impact for a year and a half now. Just an old Walmart special for $100. So yeah, Walmart, throw me that sponsorship money, you know what I'm saying? What is going on here? Left-handed thread is what's going on there. Stator looks good. Not bad for 20-something or another years old. All right, now it's time to bust out the old T30. And these are really prone to stripping on this stator here, so see if we get lucky. One down, two to go. Look at that, dropping that heart logo right in the lens for you. What do you think? Am I a good candidate for that sponsorship money, or am I too grimy for you? Got it out, didn't strip any. Next up will be sprocket. All right, 500 IQ move right here. Son of a... How's this battery dead? You know what, Hart? I don't want your sponsorship anymore. All right, so this is not coming off anyway. Get the battery on the charge. I'm gonna heat this up. Fun fact about this propane torch, I've had it since 2016. It's now 2025. I use it 3 times a week. It doesn't run out. So unlimited energy hack right there. All right, so that's not working. I usually like to take this off and pull the case from this side so I can leave the shift detent and everything in on the other side, but because this is not coming off, I'm just gonna pull the detent and separate it from the other side, and then we'll give everything a wash. All right, we gotta flip back over. Just take this detent out. Got it. And you can see these little paddles, these spring-loaded pins in here. Really easy to drop and lose stuff out of this. All right, next up is the shift drum itself here. So we got to pry this little roller arm back and then pop this out with the 12 millimeter. So what this does, it basically, whenever you shift into a specific gear, it holds your transmission in place. So this little roller arm will lock into each one of these grooves. And when you shift, the click you hear is it's shifting and locking into each one of these, and it keeps your transmission from moving out of gear. And also your little neutral holder here to keep it between gears and in a neutral position. So, and at this point we can flip it over once more and take all the bolts out for the cases. Actually, while I have the 10 millimeter right here, let's go ahead and get the slider out so we can remove our chain. It's something that if you do remove, you really need to put red Loctite on when you go back with it, because if this comes loose, you lose all your chain tension and your valves hit the piston. It's game over for your motor. So always red Loctite those on the way back. Timing chain's out, looks good, doesn't have any kinks. Pretty much all these are going to be 5 millimeter hex or Allen. I never did take the counterbalance shaft out. Let's do that now. It's already unbolted. All right, let's knock all these case bolts out. Stripped. Stripped. Of course, there's always one that will just make your day terrible. And see, this is the thing. It's always the little things I always say. Between not being able to get this off and stripping one of these out, you lose 20-30 minutes just off the small stuff. Got it with the chisel. Man, this thing is grimy. And I almost missed one. Didn't strip it out, thank goodness. That one was not chiselable in that location. All right, so I believe we have all the case bolts out. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can tap on this and knock the cases apart. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't want to tap on your crank arm, but these are not normal circumstances. Let's get all the internals to the outternal. So this is some serious muck. Look at that. All right, cases are split. Got half of the transmission out. Shift forks here, old crank. And what's funny, I must have spent 5 minutes looking for the third shift fork. I found these two and I'm like, where is the third shift fork? I must have dropped it on the ground. And then I realized the shift drum only has 2 grooves in it because it's a 4-speed transmission for this year, which is something I never encounter. So typically I always have 3 of these shift forks. So everything's accounted for, it's all good. Let's get this stuff washed up and I'll show you the new parts that I got for it. All right, after 5 or 6 rounds on the parts washer, everything is looking good. Gonna air blast everything, oil it up, and look at the new parts I got over here. Found a NOS, a new old stock Yz450 OEM crank with the gears on it. Needed those. Piston, rings, and cylinder, all stock OEM stuff. So now, after buying these parts, super good deal on the stuff. I made offers on eBay for this, and it was $180 for the crank, $180 for the top end. So I'm in this bike with the graphics now about $700. So we're ready to get the cases back together, everything installed. One thing about the Yamahas that I do like, you don't have to have a center paper case gasket and wait on one in the mail. You can just do liquid gasket on the Yamahas and Cowies. Oh, brother. For those of you that have followed along this far in the video and probably need to be on medication like myself, you probably haven't noticed this. What is that? I did the whole bottom end and looked at all the nitty-gritty things and somehow missed the slab of JB Weld that was right there. I thought from this angle, hey, there's some RTV. I got to scrape all this. No. That's not RTV. I will say whoever did it did a pretty bang-up job. They roughed it in. They kind of made it blend in. It actually held up and ran this long. And to be honest, if I was going to keep this bike, I'd run it like that because there's really no load on this portion of the case. It's just holding in oil here. And, you know, I'm sure it would suffice for that and it would run fine. But I'm building it to sell it. And I guarantee you, whoever's going to come look at this is going to go, what's going on here? Oh, it's just some JB Weld. Don't worry about it. Yeah, right. So as badly as I don't want to take all this stuff out again, it's coming out again. So I'm going to order a case, and I'll be back in a few days. So yeah, this went from being a great deal to just a deal. But got to do the right thing. Yeah, so we can't beat it off with a hammer this time. Got the brand new crank in there, so got to get our case pullers on it and get it split. No biggie. So now that these cases are split, unfortunately, got the new cases here, new used cases, and they are absolutely filthy. The crank in here is bad, so I can't use this bottom end. I have to split this and clean these cases up. So this went from a great deal to a serious headache. It's always something. Alright, if there was ever a bad time to be scatterbrained, it's right now because there's a lot of stuff I got to keep in order between these two motors being separated, all these parts laying around, which normally I would tell a lot of people, hey, you need to organize that stuff, but I can look at any part and tell you exactly what it is, where it goes, so that's just a good excuse for me to be not organized, I guess. But anyway, this is the new motor I split. This transmission, if there's any parts in here that look better, cleaner than the one that was in the original motor, I'll swap it, even though this one was good. This crank is bad, spins freely, but the rod is bent. So we'll start swapping parts, get the best of everything, and then we'll start working on the top end. All right, everything's been reconsolidated here. Everything I need, organized, cleaned up. Got the silicone already on the cases. Transmission good to go. Everything was better in the transmission that I had originally, so I just left it. So gonna button up these cases, and then we'll start working on the top end. Alright, so cases are together now with the new case half on. Just going to pull the oil pump on this new case half and check it out internally. Alright, all good. Onward. And just like that, I already ran into another problem. This pin right here that's pressed into this shift drum aligns with this groove on this shift star. And it's just mashed all the way in. And I don't know if I did that somehow or if it was like, I don't know. But it won't shift. I can't get that out with a magnet. It is so incredibly hard. I can't drill it out with my drill bits. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to tell you one thing. I am not splitting these cases again. Well, I split the cases again. But it's going back together. No hiccups. I'm putting good juju on this. We're going to have no problems. I'm going to slap it all together. Top end's going on. Valve train's going in. Motor's going in the frame, and it's going to be done right now. Let's go.
gets better than this.
Listen to that old turd sing. So yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this bike. And I know this is not some crazy before and after. It virtually looks the same. But for a budget build like this, I have two things in mind. One is to make a reliable, strong engine package for the new owner. And two is to maximize my profits. Throwing more bling at something like this, it's just going to be diminishing returns. And I kind of want to leave the bike a blank canvas for the new owner. And I think I've accomplished that. The bike starts easy, idles great, pulls strong. And you know, if you're somebody that thinks, hey, I need a 24, 25, 26 model, but I can't afford it, something like this in the 2K range, these bikes are still really fun and really powerful. And I know you guys like to talk numbers, so I'm going to break down everything right now. Thanks for watching.